Hello YouTube, welcome to my shop. It's been a little while since I've done new acquisitions. I've actually had quite a few new items come up.
Good. New acquisitions.
Actually just today I picked up a new Kennedy 3-stack. Still needs to be cleaned up, still need to go through it. There's actually quite a few tools in it. I'll bring in for a closer up of that. I've gotten some larger drill bits for the new lathe. They're MT3s. Got me some arbors, a few other items too. There's some follower taps here that I've got, some stickers and things like that I'm going to go through. So first up, we'll go over the Kennedy stack. It's all in actually pretty good condition. The drawers work smoothly. Most of the paint is okay. There's a few places, it's pretty much bare here, and but overall it's dusty and dirty and full of chips. But it's also full of tools. So why don't you come on over here and we'll take a look at what all's in here. All right. First of all, there's the key for this one, and works well. On the top here, it looks like a little deburring tool, some grinding stones, little Allen wrench, random garbage, some kind of scoring tool or something, not sure. Drill bit. Kennedy looks like probably had some stickers in here at one point or another. That's pretty much the top though. Most of these other drawers are empty. Until we get over here. Looks like a decent end mill. Looks like a 2-flute end mill or something. Something tiny in there. I'm not sure, that might be a diamond hone. I could really use one of those. Some kind of little lock setup. Another one there. Not sure, those probably shop made tools. Little brass punch. Some center drills. Some of them look like the tips have been broken off. Some of them are okay. Interesting, that feels like carbide. Looks like probably a broken and reground carbide end mill. Little deburring thing, we'll put that with the deburring tool. That's about it for that drawer. Just got dividers in it. That one looks empty. Alright, in here we got made in Japan, Fowler 2 to 3 inch. Little 12-inch rule. So Fowler 1 to 2 inch. Couple of Starrett 1 to 2 inches. Little import guy. I think it's probably the newest. The rest of these are probably pretty old. The guy that I picked this up from, he'd even mentioned this one here. He said it was probably garbage, but they had a specific part that in order to get into and measure, he had to grind these clearances so that they could get into there and get a measurement off of it. So this was it's a Craftsman made in the USA, older one. He had retired, I think he said, late 80s. Retired as a machinist anyway. Some kind of Starrett gauge, looks like fillet gauge or something. holder for indicators. Air gun. Some more good stuff in here. There's a Federal tenths indicator. Thousandths. Little stiff. Seems to return okay though. So Federal. I think that one's a thousandth. Test. This was a nice tenths indicator. Which I did need a nice one of those while I'm thinking about it. That's got the dovetail connection for it. So this down here with these guys. Looks like just parts. And a little 6-inch rule. Made in the USA. No other branding on it, so I don't know. Down here there's a couple of magnetic bases. Made in Japan. Little stirrup push button. Another depth micrometer. Always need these. I think I've got a stack of like 5 of them. I've used one of them maybe a half dozen times. And from what I remember, the rest of these, I got the keys. They need to be cleaned up. Oh, this drawer has, I'm not sure what these even are. I have a feeling they are some kind of pin gauges that have been ground for a specific test of some kind. That one's got some kind of wedge. Some of them had tape with sizing on them. That's some kind of tap. I don't know if you can see that. It seems like it was custom ground, probably some kind of test gauge parts for something. All came in a little stirrup box. It's an empty stirrup box. Another stirrup box, but this is a made in India. Just says India on it. Machinist square. Probably clean it up. That might be useful. And then a little stirrup level. It's not a super accurate machinist level, but should still be pretty nice. Just dividers in there. And then there's just a large open space in the bottom. So while I do have a lot of cleanup to do on it, I do think it's a pretty good score for the price. Alright, I've actually had this stuff laid out here for a while. I've kind of dipped into some of it because I needed to use it. But I've got 2 follower taps. I got this one and I got another one. These were just shipped from India imports, nothing special. Got them on eBay. Got me all of these large drill bits. I think I paid $25 for them. They're all made in the US. Decent ones. A lot of them have been reground and the webbing has been worked on a little bit. So these will be a good thing to test on my cutter grinder. See if I can get in here and clean up, thin out the webbing more like it's supposed to be, and figure out how I can actually set up to sharpen, to do a good factory style grind on these. Then I also got a set of tapered mandrels for the next project that I'll be bringing up, because I'm going to need to press on a part here to work on the lathe. I'll talk about that here shortly. I also got from Metalworks Machine Shop, sent me a decal. I'm gonna have to find a place. I don't have anywhere in the shop that I've actually started doing that yet. Caution moving parts, he sent that along as well. Anybody that knows AVE, I picked up one of his rulers. Mostly just quick check for drill sizes, bolt sizes, whatnot. The stuff on this table, I went ahead and picked up the PDF plans on Etsy. You can look those up. I forget his name now. I'll tag that and post it as a link right down here so that you can figure out where to go and pick these up. They're pretty cheap, 15 bucks I think it was, maybe 25, I don't remember. He's got good detailed plans. He's also got a YouTube video going over how to make it, how to put everything together, and kind of why he does a lot of what he does. He's got a full parts list, all the metal that you'll need. A lot of this I had in my supply, and the rest of it I went and picked up. I ended up spending about $100 on steel. I should have enough steel to make the base and the platen, so I'll be able to make basically a working setup. The only thing I haven't purchased yet is the stuff for a table and a base and all that, which it may end up just mounting to one of my benches or something. I'm not sure, so that's why I haven't done that yet. Found a nice Boulder 2 horsepower motor on Craigslist, I think it was. I think I paid $80 for it, so not super cheap, but definitely not as expensive as they could be. It's got grease fittings, it's sealed, so it'll be a good motor for a grinder. I got the aluminum here I'll be cutting the wheels out of. I made a quick trip to Ace Hardware, picked up all of the hardware that's on the list of what's needed. So I'll be starting part 1 of a 2x72 belt grinder video. Should be coming up soon. Also picked up some new lathe tooling. Bunch of these Aloris, actual genuine Aloris. Got a nice CA16, double-ended, so I can do facing and turning. I got one of these diamond ones. Was missing a few parts. There's a little base insert that goes in here that supports the inserts, and this stuff here. Altogether, I think I spent $50 on the Aloris website to pick up, a few extra parts. This guy here, the chip breaker on this one's pretty bad, messed up. There's a little carbide, brazed-in carbide section here that I guess gets chipped. I noticed it was done that way on quite a few of them that I was looking on eBay, but I found you can buy these. I think they were $25 or so, right from the Aloris catalog. So went ahead and ordered those. Compared to all of the tooling that I already had, I've actually been really happy with the tooling I've got for this lathe, it came with a bunch of Aloris, and now I've bought a bunch more Aloris. I got another CXA2 tool holder. The only bad part, I had purchased actually another one of these I'd ordered really pretty cheap. And when it got here, I thought, wow, that thing's huge. He actually sent me the wrong one. He sent me a CA16. It's actually in better shape than the CXA. So this is the size larger from what my lathe will take. The dovetail, as you can see here, it's significantly larger than mine. But it was cheap enough. I'm pretty sure I could relist this on eBay and probably make more money back. Unfortunately, probably not enough to get it for the average price of the CXAs. So kind of looking around locally, seeing if I can find somebody that needs to trade, because I'd actually just like to I'd like to have two of these that I could put two different types of inserts in. You know, if I could do an aluminum and a you know, an aluminum insert and a steel insert, that way I just have two of these marked. You know, I can swap them out fairly easily. The rest of this, the only thing I have that's not Aloris now, this is a phase 3 boring bar holder, and it was actually BXA, and I came in and actually widened it a little bit so that it fits the CXA. So it is technically a little bit small, but it's actually plenty large enough for anything that I need. Let me see, that's Aloris, that's Aloris. I think I had one phase 2 or phase 3. Yeah, it's a regular phase 3 holder. And then everything else is Aloris. So I've been fairly happy with how that's been coming out. All good, you know, American brand except for those two Chinese imports. I know I mentioned this, I picked up four-jaw chuck. I've actually used this quite a bit recently, and that'll be in an upcoming video. One thing it was missing was a key, so I made up a really quick key that I could use on it. This one, I'd posted some pictures of it, I know, to the YouTube, Facebook, YouTube Machinist site, and a few other places. Just this one was an eBay find. It was pretty rusty and in pretty bad shape overall, and it was just listed as no name. As I cleaned it up, I'd actually found out it's a Kalamazoo chuck, you know, made in Michigan, US made. Pretty decent four-jaw chuck, 10-inch, and works great. So looking around, I think that's pretty much all since the last time I did a new acquisition. I'm sure there's some other things laying around that I've picked up new, but I'm hoping to replace this white cabinet over here that my Kennedy's sitting on with the lower portion of the Kennedy stack. And then I'm going to kind of figure out all of the you know, lathe and Bridgeport and, you know, the tooling that I need here for the machinery. And I'm going to take all of the layout type stuff and put that over on the workbench so that I'll have, you know, easier access to that kind of stuff. I do a lot of walking back and forth, and I just, you know, haven't really organized my tools that well. And I've got them, you know, pretty well organized inside the box, even though the top looks like a mess. It's actually not. It's only a mess because I was kind of in the middle of something, threw it all back in there so I could do a quick video. But, you know, I've got all of my stuff is distributed fairly well inside the box. It's just a lot of that stuff I need closer to my workbench. Some of the stuff on the workbench I need closer to the machinery. So I'm going to do a little bit of rearranging there, try to get that stuff set up. Otherwise, I think that's about it. So Oh, one other thing. While I was ordering drill bits for that, I was thinking that was an MT5 size, and the first drill bit I bought ended up being a little bit too large. This guy is small side of A-bomb sized. This thing, I got it on eBay. I paid $7 for it. I think it was $10 or $12 for shipping. So, I got about 20 bucks into it. It's brand new. I don't think it's ever cut a chip. And it is a Morse 1 15/16. I have nothing that it'll fit in, so it's going to be wall art. It was cheap enough and just looks cool. So it goes right up here. Sort of as wall art. Thanks for watching. And remember, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Everybody always says that, but well, for the most part, I do these videos, mostly for myself to document what I'm doing, and the fact that 2 years from now I'll forget that I've done all of this stuff, and I always like to have the stories that I can remind myself and go back and see these videos. But it's also, it's nice for other people to point out, what's cool and what's not, things like that. So please, like I said, like, subscribe, share, let other people know. If my channel, I'm not the best speaker, I try to hack it up a little bit to make it mildly coherent, but on that note, remember, I made that.